Shalom, family. Welcome back to the channel. I trust that everybody's doing well. Family, I'm going to address an issue today that is very important, and it's dealing with belief in the Most High's existence. You know, during these troubling times, there's a lot of people who have never believed that the Most High exists. There are those that's on the fence about whether he exists or not. And there are some believers that's beginning to lose belief or faith that he exists. So we'll just address every one of them, you know, and, you know, especially for friends and family. And the reason for this is that nobody can see the Most High's hand at work, okay? They seeing all this trouble and pestilence and everything. It just seems like the Most High is just silent. He's not doing anything. Well, that's only because you just can't see it and understand it. But he's at work. And most people are looking for some great sign. And in the future, there will be great signs, you know. And most of them may even frighten you. So let's not rush it for those great signs. Something that you can lay your hand on, definitely. But he is working all the time, family, on our behalf. It may not seem like it, but he does things in his way. You know, he's even causing the wicked people with all their lies, you know, in the last year or two, to get confused. You know, they've lied so much that the lies are falling apart and disproportionate, you know. So he's making a mess out of everything, family, but most people just can't see it, you know. So we'll start off with the Big Bang Theory. Now this video may be long, you know, but however long, you know, watch it to the end, because we're going to talk about a tree that most of us really don't pay much attention to. And we're going to read it from the scriptures, you know, what this tree represents. But that'll be the last thing we'll get to. So right now, let's deal with the Big Bang Theory. Okay. As you know, these scientists come up with a theory. Now, theory is not fact, family. It's just what it says, a theory, a supposition, a guess. You know, like the Big Bang Theory, the theory of evolution, like we came from apes, you know, we turned into a man, and that's the farthest thing from the truth. You know, the scriptures tell you in the beginning that the Most High created man, and he created all the beasts. And he gave man dominion over it. Not once did he say we turned into man from some other animal or ape or whatever. So we know that's a lie. Okay. It was no explosion that created intelligent life. Intelligent life has to have an intelligent creator, which is the Most High. Everything that you see and he created has intelligence attached to it. Take the grass and plants. Do you know that grass seeds and all plant seeds have male and female properties? Otherwise, it couldn't reproduce. And it's the same way with the animal kingdom. It takes male and female. With humans, male and female. See, there is no accident. There is no explosion that caused intelligent life. That's ridiculous. And this is some of the things that hamper our people, and cause them to have doubt, because they're listening to theories of man instead of truth of the Most High. Okay? People, just let's look at the animal kingdom. Now, animals have been given a term called dumb animals. There's nothing dumb about any animal. The word dumb means only that they're incapable of human speech. But animals talk to each other. Okay? They communicate with each other through sounds that they make. That doesn't mean literally that they're stupid or dumb. The same as it doesn't mean for a human being that we say is deaf and dumb. Whether a human being is not crazy, he's not dumb, literally. It means he can't speak from whatever kind of physical condition that he has. He's unable to speak, so they call him dumb. Meaning that he's incapable of talking. Doesn't mean literally. No, he's not literally dumb. It's a lot of people who can't speak is some of the smartest people on this planet. Okay? It's just a condition that caused them not to be able to speak, whether from birth or some accident or whatever. Okay? How is it? Let's talk about a few animals first. How is it that we can call animals dumb and they have all the intelligence in the world? Let's take a dog. Now, a male dog, when he strays away from his home or wherever he was and wanders off, that dog has sense enough to mark his trail. You'll see him stop every so many yards or something and urinate. Well, he's marking his trail. So when he gets ready to return, he just follows his own scent that he laid down. To me, that's pretty smart. See, ain't no explosion gonna give them that knowledge. In fact, we have humans that get lost all the time, hiking and stuff, because they didn't have sense enough to mark their trail and have to be rescued. But dogs got sense enough to mark wherever they go and just follow their own scent back home. So who's dumb? Us or the dog? Okay? Take ants. Now, who told the ants to start storing up their food when the weather's nice, so they'll have plenty when it gets cold? Is that dumb? How does a bear know to stock up and eat a whole bunch of food during the good months, and when it gets cold and he hibernates, he's not going to starve to death because he's ate enough and is stored as fat in his body, and he can sleep through the winter without starving to death? That seems pretty smart to me, and it had to come from an intelligent creator. Okay? So we can stop calling these animals dumb. They're not dumb. in the least sense of the word. They're not dumb. Let's take the geese. What kind of intelligence was created in them to know which way south is. I mean, they don't have GPS. You know, they probably knew the directions before man did. You know, man had to come up with compasses and GPS, but geese know which way south is. See, they know which way south is because that's intelligent life. It's intelligent life. The geese, you know, they fly in a V pattern. Okay, you know why they do that, family? To reduce wind drag. You know, it's one geese in the lead in the front, and the others are like a wingspan apart behind, forming a V. And the lead geese provides a slipstream form. That's what they call it, a slipstream, or another term is drafting. We see the same thing done in fighter jets. They fly in that pattern, you know, to reduce fuel consumption. Indy race car drivers do it. Just watch them on TV. You'll see a driver get right on the bumper of another driver. He's drafting. He's getting pretty much pulled along by that front car that's creating that slipstream. So how are the geese not intelligent? How is it that a Big Bang gave them that knowledge? Okay? That knowledge comes from the Creator, the same one that gave us knowledge. Okay? You know, a female dog can have puppies and she'll feed them, but she knows when to stop feeding them. When she knows that they shouldn't still be nursing, when they attempt to nurse, she'll snap at them and won't let them. See? That's intelligence, family. Not dumb. Not dumb animals. Okay? And back to the geese, when that lead bird began to get tired, he falls back into the draft pattern and another bird takes his place that's well rested. This is why they're able to fly those long distances. They take turns in the lead and take turns, you know, flying in that draft they created. Slipstream. Okay? That's intelligence, man. Mostly everything created that man uses today came from the Most High's creation. Take airplanes. They were designed after a bird. You know, you look at the front of the airplane, it's just like a bird's beak. You know, it's narrow, aerodynamically. And the body of the plane is sleek, you know, and the same way a bird is. You know, the bird has wings. So airplanes have wings. Airplanes have flaps at the bottom of their wings, which assist in them taking off, also in landing. When they're taking off, they put the flaps at a certain degree, and the wing catches them and helps with the lift of the plane. And when they're landing, they lower the flaps and it creates drag to slow the plane down. A bird does the same thing. He has different feathers on his wing that are for different purposes. Okay? Most birds are glide to a real soft landing, and some birds are just start flapping as they're coming down, you know, for easy landing. Either way, it's creating resistance, drag. An airplane has a rudder to steer its direction. So does a bird. Those tail feathers are his rudder, which makes him be able to turn, you know. They have certain feathers that they use. Have you ever seen birds just soaring up high and never even flapping their wings? Because they arrange their feathers to catch the wind current. They're riding on the wind current. That's why they can, things like vultures and things like that, they can just sit up there and just float around without even flapping their wings. See, everything is designed from the Most High's creation. Okay? Let's take a look now, family. We're gonna prove this, the Most High. Let's take a look at us, our bodies. Okay? We're gonna take a look at our bodies. Let's take a look at the heart. Let's look at our heart. Your heart, it probably beats anywhere from 60, to 100 times a minute. When you exercise, it beats much faster because it has to pump blood faster, to, supply your body's cells with enough oxygen. If we was to use an average of 80 beats per minute, we'll call that the average. Your heart beats about 4,800 times per hour. That's 115,200 times per day. Over the course of a year, your heart would beat about 42,048 times. If you live to be 80 years old, your heart would have beaten approximately over 3 billion times. 363,840,000 times. That's over 3 billion times in your lifespan if you live to be 80. And most people live far beyond 80. Some people live to be 105, 110. Just think how many times their heart has beat. Close to 4 billion times. Now show me a man-made device that can last that long. Let's take a car engine. I doubt that car engine gonna run for 80 years. Okay? Long before then, it's gonna stop. Normally when they start getting past 300,000 miles, you go to having trouble out of them. The engine is beginning to fail. But not our heart. Unless we develop through a bad nutrition or whatever, some ailment you were born with. Other than that, a healthy heart is just almost indestructible. And the heart is nothing but a muscle, family. That is one tough muscle. But how did we get it? The Most High designed our bodies like that, family. How in the world can we attribute that to some kind of explosion? Ain't no way that came from an explosion. Let's read Romans chapter 1, verse 17 through 21. For therein is the righteousness of Yah revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith. For the wrath of Yah is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness, because that which may be known of Elohim is manifest in them, for the Most High has showed it to them. Verse 20, for the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. See, when you look around, family, and see the wonders in nature, and creation, the wonders of creation. You without excuse, okay? It doesn't matter that you can't see the Most High. You without excuse. Verse 21 says, because that when they knew Elohim, they glorified him not as Elohim, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. Psalms 14:1. The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. So let's see what the Most High says about our bodies. Psalms 139:14. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. See, we're fearfully and wonderfully made, family. You know what fearfully and wonderfully made? If something is fearfully made, that means he left nothing to chance. He took everything in consideration that these bodies was going to have to endure upon this earth, and therefore he created them fearfully. He gave us a very good immune system, you know. He gave us a body that if we fed it with the things that he said, you know, would last a very long time in good health. Okay, we're fearfully made. It means the Most High thought of everything when he created these bodies for us. He didn't leave nothing to chance. Okay? So we fearfully and wonderfully made. Family, if we had always eaten the things that the Most High said when he created us, you know, the fruits and herbs and stuff like that, I doubt if we would be as sick as we are now. See, people strayed away from the diet that was prescribed by the Most High. Look at your eye. Do you know all these fancy Nikon and Canon cameras and all these cameras were created using the technology the science of the eye, which the Most High created. That's what cameras are designed behind. You know, they have a lens, so does our eye. You can adjust the camera's ISO to allow for less light or more light. Okay? So does our eye. Family, if you go into a dark room, you just come out the light and you go into a dark room, do you know that little pupil in your eye, that little black ball that's in your eye, do you know it enlarges when you go into a dark room so that you can kind of get focused and see? And when you step back out in the light again, that pupil shrinks, it gets small again. This is why doctors and paramedics shine a light in your eye to see, you know, if you have any brain activity. If they shine a light in your eye and they see your pupil get smaller, and you know they'll see it enlarge when it's in darkness. All that, you know, the cameras were designed with that in mind. They have the same capabilities of increasing or limiting light in the camera. See, it is no accident. It was no Big Bang. That's crazy. You know, we got to get away from that kind of thinking. One thing is dangerous. Let's think about the human brain. Okay, that's another miracle that can't be contributed to some kind of explosion, you know. Now, Yahoo, we all know what Yahoo is, you know. It's an internet giant, you know. It has a specially built 2.0 petabyte data warehouse. You know, Yahoo uses this information to store capacity data to analyze the behavior of 500 million monthly visitors to its site. You know, it's not only the world's single largest database, but also the busiest. In comparison, you know, the IRS have their own massive data warehouse, which keeps tracks of 300 plus million Americans. And many more businesses have the capacity, you know, of 150 terabytes of memory. But it says, yet, Yahoo's 2.0 petabyte computational center, which can process 24 billion events a day, is a full 20% smaller than the capacity of the human brain. The human brain has 2.5 petabytes, family. A petabyte means like 1,024 terabytes or a million gigabytes. So the average adult human brain has the ability to store the equivalent of 2.5 million gigabytes of memory. That's your brain. So that came from an intelligent explosion or something? I doubt that. You know the Big Bang theory. No, it never was a Big Bang. You know, that's what they've been telling people all this time. But it never was a Big Bang, family. Let's see, what will we? Let's do this. It wasn't a Big Bang. There are no planets out there, family. There are only stars and the sun and the moon and constellations. Okay, that's what's out there. I don't care what Bible you read, what version you read, or anything else, you're not going to find the word planet. But you will find stars, you know, and there's constellations. Okay? So that calls for a creator. You know, the universe listen, how was it an explosion in the universe, and the universe didn't even exist until the Most High created it? Okay? It's crazy. You know, they got you believing some kind of explosion happened, and all this intelligent life came from that, you know. So let's look at some of the things that's in the sky, you know. Now, in the scriptures, you know, you'll find the constellation Pleiades. Pleiades is a constellation of 7 stars, which can be seen in the sky. Okay? That's in the scriptures. Okay? Orion is in the scriptures. It's a constellation. That means stars. Another one, Arcturus, It's in the scriptures. It's a constellation. It's better known as the Great Bear or Ursa Major. I know you've heard of that, Ursa Major and Ursa Minor. But these are in the scriptures, family. You know, Arcturus is a giant red star in the northern hemisphere. It's the brightest star in the constellation. Arcturus is also among the brightest stars that can be seen from Earth. See, and here they are trying to get you to believe in some kind of planet X or Nibiru, you know, where extraterrestrials live. You know, the only terrestrial beings around are those up is the host of heaven amongst the Most High. Okay, the angels and the host of heaven. It's no other planet and no other ETs and all that junk. See, we was fed that at an early age. The first thing they give you when you get in grade school is a globe and tell you we living on a spinning ball and all these Venus and Mars, and there are not any planets, family. They're stars. Go back and read Genesis and see what he said he created. The moon, the sun, and the stars. You will not see planet in any version that you read. I don't care which one. Let me name off a few. You won't see it in the KJV, the NKJV. You won't see it in the NLT, the NIV, the ESV, the CSB, the NASB, the NET Bible, the RSB, the ASB, the YLT, the DBY, the HNB, the WEB. You can look up in any one of those versions of the Bible, you will not find planet, period. If you do, send it to me. You're not going to find it. Why? Because planets don't exist. See, man has never left Earth's low orbit, nor can he. You know, they got you thinking that this Nibiru is on a collision course with the Earth. When the waters tell the scriptures tell us that it's going to be collision. You know, stars are going to fall to the Earth. You know, it tells us that. But it's not no Nibiru. You know, in fact, let's read Revelation 8, 10 through 12. And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven. Did it say planet or star, family? Burning as it were a lamp, and it fell upon the third part of the rivers and upon the fountains of the water. And the name of the star is called Wormwood. And the third part of the waters became wormwood. And many men died of the water because they were made bitter. And the fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun was smitten, and the third part of the moon, and the third part of the stars, so as the third part of them was darkened. And the day shone not for a third part of it, and the night likewise. Family, the sun itself is a star. It is not a planet. It is the closest star to us. Okay? And matter of fact, most of the stars are a lot bigger than the sun. But they're farther out in the firmament. And the sun is the closest. So it appears big to us, but there's plenty of stars that are a lot bigger than the sun. Okay? See, we have to learn these things about the Most High's creation so that you won't be deceived. So that anybody can start convincing you that there is no Elohim. See, we have to be careful, family. Niggeroo, where aliens and extraterrestrials are, and that. Come on now. It's no such thing. There are hosts of heaven that are up in the above the firmament, but they're not aliens, okay? 1 John chapter 3 verse 2. Beloved, now we are the sons of Yah. It does not yet appear what we shall be, but we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. See, we're going to see him as he is. We'll be in his presence. Okay? If people only knew some of these things, family, they wouldn't have any doubt of the Most High existence. I mean, look at stars. What are stars? Do you know that stars are made up of very hot gas? It's mostly a hydrogen and helium, which are the two lightest elements. So, the stars shine by burning hydrogen, into helium in their core. And they also contain a little nitrogen and oxygen. But that's why you see those stars shining, because they're gas. They made of very hot gases. And we're fooled by these people. We landed on the moon. The moon is a luminary. You didn't land on nothing. One thing, you ain't never been there. And you have a few astronauts that say they have been there. See, this is what you've been told all your life, and this is why some people are stuck and can't get out of the thought that we're on a spinning ball. We're on an earth that is surrounded and covered by a dome. So, and that's another lesson. But no, we're not on those spinning balls, spinning them thousands of times, just really spinning around, and we're not there. Man has been up there to the moon, and no, man ain't never left Earth, low Earth orbit, period. He can't. Okay? He cannot. All you have to do is go and watch some of these rocket launches. They'll go straight up for a while. But after a certain point, what they do, they start turning to the point where they're almost horizontal. They're not going straight up anymore. Why? Because they know they can't. They're going to hit something. You see? They're not going anywhere. Let's read Acts 17, verse 26. It proves, man ain't been anywhere. And hath made of one blood all nations of men for to dwell on all the face of the earth. He made men of all nations to dwell where? On the earth, not in outer space. And has determined the times before appointed and the bounds of their habitation. See, the Most High set bounds of our habitation. We can't leave this earth, man. He set bounds. Let's see. Trying to find another. Yeah, let's go to Psalms 104, verse 9. Thou hast set a bound that they may not pass over, that they return not again to cover the earth. See, the Most High set bounds of our habitation, family. This is why the scripture tells you flesh and blood is not going to enter into the kingdom. It can't. It can't go into the heavens, family. Not without you dying first. We can't just up one day and decide, okay, I'm going to visit the spiritual world and enter into it. You can't do it. See, man is attempting to do that. This is the reason why he created this CERN thing. He's trying to break through. He's not going to be able to do it. Most High is not going to let him do it. See, he's trying to get past this realm that we in by the use of CERN. See, he's trying to circumvent the Most High's creation. Ain't gonna happen. See, the Most High has set our bounds. We're where he wants us to be. If he wanted us to be out in the heavens, then he's equipped us with a body that can go out there. We're bound to this earth. Okay? That's it. In fact, let's read Job chapter 38, 1 through 11. This is when the Most High is putting Job in check. Job got a little loose with his mouth, trying to throw his righteousness up and counsel the Most High. And Most High wasn't having it. So he went on to chastise Job by asking him questions about creation. And that's what this is about, man. This chapter 38, the Most High is talking about creation to Job. Okay, this is Job 38, 1 through 11. Then the Most High answered Job out of the whirlwind and said, who is this that darkeneth counsel by words without knowledge? The Most High, who is this trying to counsel me without the knowledge? And verse 3, he's telling Job, gird up now thy loins like a man, for I will demand of thee, and answer thou me. He said, no, gird up your loins like a man now, because I'm finna ask you some stuff and I want you to answer me. Here's the first question. Yes. Where wast thou when I laid the foundations of the earth? Declare if thou hast understanding. He asked me, Joe, okay, where was you at when I created this? See? Wasn't no big explosion. He said, yes, Joe, where was you when I created it? Verse 5 says, who has laid the measures thereof, if thou knowest, or who has stretched the line upon it. Verse 6, whereupon are the foundations thereof fastened, or who laid the cornerstone thereof? He said, okay, where was you at? Who did all this, Joe? When the morning stars sang together and all the sons of YAHS shouted for joy. See? Verse 8 says, or who shut up the sea with doors when it brake forth, as if it had issued out of the womb. When I made the cloud the garment thereof, and thick darkness a swaddling band for it, and break it up from my decreed place, and set bars and doors, and said, hitherto shalt thou come with no further, and here thou shalt proud waves be stable. The Most High, he set bounds for the seas, and oceans. Ain't no man been out there. He can't go. I'm sorry. Can't go. Now, to clear things up, when it said in Job, what verse was that? Oh man. when it it was Job 38, verse 7. It says, the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of YAHS shouted for joy. That is not talking about people or angels. Okay? It is actually talking about the actual stars and the sun and moon. Matter of fact, let's read James chapter 1, verse 17. Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, and cometh down from the Father of lights, with whom is no variableness, neither shadow of turning. See, you look up the Father of light, look up that in the concordance, number G5457. You'll see, I think the definition would be like 3A or something like that. It said, the Most High is the Father of lights. So he was talking about the stars, the sun, and the moon. He calls the sun and the moon his sons in that particular verse in Job 38:7. Not talking about no angels, okay? So don't get thrown off by that. It's real easy to get thrown off by that. Not talking about no angels, which most people think the sons of God. You go to scriptures, I think in Hebrews, and the Most High says he's never even called those angels his sons. Okay? And we'll start going through these scriptures here in a minute, family. Let me see. And we'll see exactly what I was talking about. Just a second. Find what I want to read here. Okay. Let's read some of these. We'll just go ahead and go right into the scriptures about this is the tree that I mentioned in the front of this video that has a whole lot of significance. And we never even paid it any attention. You know, the only time that we see palm trees or think about them is after a hurricane, and they be showing, you know, the hurricane is blowing on those palm trees. But if you know it, did you ever notice those trees don't break? You know, they may sway a little bit, but they don't break. See, and the palm tree in the scriptures are very significant, family. You know, this is why the Most High uses them over and over in scripture. Because palm trees are the way man was supposed to be, made upright and not bending. You know, not wavering, staying strong. See? So, the whole land of Palestine was called, by the Greeks and Romans, Phoenicia. And I know we know that in the Bible. But what does Phoenicia mean? It means the land of palms, the land of palm trees. And the city in the desert, which was called Tadmor, was called the city of palms. See, even at the Most High's entrance into Jerusalem, what did they do? They took palm branches and went forth to meet him. And they were saying, Hosanna, blessed is the King of Israel that cometh in the name of the Most High. See, those palm trees meant the way that man was supposed to be, upright. And they were used all the time. And even the word tamar means palm. And some of the women were named that. Okay? So let's go ahead and read the scriptures. Psalms 92:12. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. See? Let's go to Deuteronomy 34:3. It says, and the south and the plain of the valley of Jericho, the city of palm trees, unto Zoar. See, Jericho is either called the city of palm trees. Let's see what Leviticus 23:40 says about palm trees. Verse 40. And you shall take you on the first day the boughs of goodly trees, branches of palm trees, and the boughs of thick trees and willows of the brook, and you shall rejoice before the Elohim 7 days. See, they had to bring branches from a palm tree. Matthew 21:8. And a very great multitude spread their garments in the way. Others cut down branches from trees and strew them in the way. Okay, well, what kind of trees was it? Okay, well, we can go to John 12:13 and find that out. They took branches of palm trees and went forth to meet him and cried, Hosanna, blessed is the King of Israel that cometh in the name of the Most High. See, those palm trees represented strength and righteousness and success and victory, That's what they represented. This is why they took branches from palm trees and laid them down in front of him. What is this? Exodus 15:27. And they came to Elim, where were 12 wells of water, and 70 palm trees, and they encamped there by the water. See, palm trees, there's a whole lot of species of them, family, but they bear fruit, and the fruit of palm trees is very nutritious. You know, they help with a lot of different ailments that people have. They are very Acts chapter 11 verse 19. Now they which were scattered abroad upon the persecution that arose about Stephen traveled as far as Phoenix and Cyprus and Antioch, preaching the word to none but unto the Jews only. That word Phoenix is, or Phoenicia. That's the city of palms. And it continued, Acts 15:3, it says, and being brought on their way by the church, they passed through Phoenix and Samaria, declaring the conversation of the Gentiles, and they caused great joy unto all brethren. Anytime you see that Phoenicia in the Bible, or pronounced as Phoenix sometime, it means palm, city of land of the palm trees. Okay. And Judah, Genesis 38:6, I'm sorry. And Judah took a wife for his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. And if you look up Tamar in the scriptures, it means palm. Okay? it means palm. And so they oftentimes, name women after those trees, Tamar. Let's see. Yeah, 2 Samuel 13:1, and it came to pass after this that Absalom, the son of David, had a fair sister, whose name was Tamar. And Ammon, the son of David, loved her. See, Tamar, you have to look it up, I don't know that I have that definition. Okay. Yes, I do. Tamar, it comes from, in the concordance, H8558, which means Palm City. Tamar is the widow of the son of Judah, fiancé of Selah, another son of Judah, wife of Judah and mother of Perez and Zerah. See, that's what Tamar, her name means palm tree. See, her name meant palm tree. Judges 3:13, gathered unto him the children of Amalek, and went and smote Israel, and possessed the city of palm trees. First Kings chapter 9, verse 17, 18, and Solomon built Gezer, and Bethoron, and Nadab, and Baalim, and Tadmor in the wilderness of the land, which we know Tadmor means palm.